meeting on SocialBites. Today is a review of the mental model, the visual elements, the tasks, and the stories. We see how much you've done. And then, of course, we look at the next steps. All right. So before we begin this review, I just want to, no, I think it's a good idea for us to go over it together. Then I will give you a sense of the next steps based on the direction the company is moving. So can I ask about the mental model? How much did you get done of what we discussed last time, Nelly? You had several things that were on your document. How much were you able to do?
I was able to come up with the user stories, the user flows, and the user journey.
All right. Were you able to come up with a mental
Yeah.
model?
Yes, I was able to come up with the mental model.
And were you also able to design the, you know, product identities like the visual logo, the slogan? Were you able to design a look and feel of at least the basic identities?
I was able to come up with a tagline, and as for the logo, I also did my research.
Hmm. All right. So you have
Um,
ideas on what you want to produce for the logo.
yes, and also the tagline.
Okay. Are you able to share your screen so I can see?
I was requesting to present verbally. My laptop unfortunately crashed. The hard disk crashed, and
Oh,
yeah.
so
So I have just been jotting down the important notes,
mhm.
but I'm planning to organize myself to come up with something presentable so that I can send it to you for critique.
Okay. When you say your laptop crashed, do you still have your data on your hard disk or you've lost it?
I lost everything.
Okay, but now you know you're in production in a work context. So what would happen is that
Yeah.
I could not tell that to the client. If I did, they will they will not accept it as valid. So I can't do that. You have to produce. So we can then have the conversation next week. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but you really have to produce. It's not. Uh, you see, for example, just to give an example, the client pays about 500,000 shillings for this work. So you can imagine we can't even invoice them when there's nothing to show them. We need to show them something because the practice is to invoice for work that is done. And if you don't do it, then it defeats the business. Now we cannot make that move. So you need to produce. I need to have. This is it's like they'll pay us for the entire. We'll at least agree on the entire budget for this job, based on the preliminary work. So it's very critical to the process that we're able to show what everything up to the stories for approval and back and forth and discussion. And then from there, we can get into prototyping. But by then, the client is reviewing our code. And by the time we're presenting the prototype, the client is ready to pay at the initial deposit. And then we now start moving, you see. So that kind of situation requires you to be very keen that you come through. You see, for example, if 500,000, if you have an issue with your laptop, it's good to let me know in good time so that I can look at a contingency. Maybe I give you another laptop or something rather than losing the job. I don't want to lose the job, you see. We want to make sure we keep the client. And at the same time, we don't want it to be on something that is counterintuitive. If you're going to make money from something, then the money for getting even a new laptop is much cheaper than the cost of now losing the job. Okay, so those kind of
Yeah.
things you have to start thinking in that sort of way because we can't afford that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's how I'm coming to. All right, so I'm going to send you links to um, also put your work on the cloud so that when you put it on the cloud, I will be able to view it. But you have to now be a bit disciplined to do it something every day so that I can also be grading it every day. But grading not in a classroom sense, it's just critiquing it in a sense that the client can feel that they can pay for what you're doing. You see? So I need to start viewing it. And it's good if you're doing it on a daily basis so that I can also build the confidence that we're not going to fall behind on this one. So I'll send it this evening. And then, of course, there'll be folders. But each folder will reflect what we've talked of. Like there'll be a mental model folder, there'll be a folder for the uh, visual elements, like the logo. Um, there'll be one for, you could say, the slogan. Yeah, you could put that. There'll be another folder there for the interaction diagram. There'll be one for the scenario diagram. So the scenario diagram is very important because it captures the main activities of the big idea. So we want to see that. And then there'll be one for the uh, there'll be one for the user stories. The user stories. Now, these things, if you use Excalibur, for example, you can put a link to Excalibur. Then I'll be able to view that. I can also interact with it. So putting a link is okay, you know. Um, so just build something and then put the link to Excalibur. I can see it. I can also do the same thing for you, and you can use that to build. Um, when it comes to the persona profile, I need to see a persona profile. So there'll be a folder for the persona for a profile. So you're going to get about 7 folders in total to bring us to where we are now. And the 7th one will be the one for the prototype. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Now the prototype, you have to, so it has 2 components. It has the demo where you can interact prototype in real time, but it also have the visual layout so that we can see the interfaces and how they're designed and everything. So the visual layout is more like an architectural drawing because we can see the arrows, the links. It's your wire flow, but it will be a high fidelity wire flow. So we'll need to see that. But even before we see that, we need to see a low fidelity wire flow of your big idea. The big idea is very thin. Even your high fidelity one, it's the big idea we want to see. You don't have to see everything, but the main idea is what we want to see. Okay? So if you understand that, then please try because this is how you get paid. If you don't, in a situation where you're getting paid, you have to produce work. If you don't produce work, then it works against you. You don't earn, and as such, you you don't you're killing your own career. You see, so you need to earn, and that self validates you. You carry on working, you earn again, and you keep building your confidence based on what you're putting out. All right. So do your best. It's not good when we don't do it. So I'm going to share my screen, and
Yes.
I need to show you more about what we're thinking with the client is important for them to have. This one is based on the startup and what they're producing. SocialBites essentially is a platform um, as a service for restaurants. That's what it is. It's a platform as a service for restaurants. Okay, and it has certain value offerings. I'm going to share with you this document so that you can see what it is. But I'll just take you through it quickly. See, I'll read this first line, which is crucial. SocialBite is a groundbreaking platform that combines the convenience of on-demand restaurant booking and food delivery with the power of community engagement. Very important. In fact, this last line here that I wrote, community engagement, the power of community engagement, is the big idea. The big idea predicates on that. Why? Because restaurants right now are not these ones. They're almost 500, but there are many others like this. None of them use online platforms to get their clients. All their clients are walk-in clients. They walk on the sidewalk, they see the restaurant, and then they go in. All the advertising, all their, you can say, point of sale marketing is happening at the touch point of the client. The client is physically there. So they don't have what you can say is a strategy for building online communities that can be potential clients, and they don't know how to get clients from these online communities. So the big idea here is that SocialBites does that for them. It does it for them. And they don't have the capacity in-house, they don't have the staff, so they need something that does it for them in a way that is that doesn't impose on them. It happens naturally. Okay, so that's the big idea. Now, there are various models we implement, like this one, on-demand restaurant booking and on-demand food delivery. Right? All that means is that when the consumer wants to make a booking, they can make it at their own time, at their own place. When they want to order food, they can place their order in the comfort of their own time and space. That's what that on-demand model means. So SocialBites is an innovative technology startup focused on transforming the way people connect with restaurants and food delivery services. So this part of the book here is something that you need to bring out in your stories. Yeah, we're not looking to connect in ways that are somewhat ordinary. We want to think of unique ways of connecting. That's what we're saying. So of course we're building a community here, and we'll cover that in what I'm going through. So the platform is designed to act as an intermediary between customers and over 500 restaurants in Dortmund, in a neighborhood in Dortmund. Yeah, so here we're saying that the platform is a service to the restaurant and it's free to the customer. The customer can book, they can place orders, and they can engage, let's say, with each other, with the restaurant for free, always. It's the restaurant that pays. Social, SocialBites engages what we're calling a layered subscription marketplace model. I'll explain this. When I say it's layered, I mean that there are several levels at which they monetize their business. Essentially, the payment method is subscription based, and they're using what we call a marketplace model. Okay, so subscription based simply means that the money comes through restaurant subscriptions, not end user subscriptions. The end user is the consumer, they're not paying anything. But the restaurant sees the value of subscribing because they're getting all these users to actually use the platform. So they are the ones who are actually paying for it. It's layered because there are several types of subscriptions, okay, and various strategies that we are using. All right, so it integrates what we're calling a multi-level revenue stream. So there are more than one revenue stream, and it includes traction commissions. So anyone who does a sale for the restaurant will get a commission. All right. What we mean by traction commission is that if you bring large numbers of people, like you might bring 3 families, maybe bring a church group or something, but you bring numbers, let's say 100 people to the restaurant, you get commissions for that simply because you brought 100 customers who paid. We also, they get money from subscription fees. These are coming directly from the restaurant. The restaurant will be charged a subscription fee just to join. I'll explain more about that. And then we have what we're calling affiliate marketing partnerships. So this one is really a way by which the restaurant markets itself with third parties, and those third parties help to promote the image of the restaurant online. It's all about promoting the restaurant's image within social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, things like those. All right. So this could be with bloggers or vloggers, vloggers. It could be also with other websites. But there is a strategy here that we're saying will help the restaurant to gain or build traction by building its web presence in different social media websites. Okay, so that's part of the reason why its logo is important. Part of the reason. So this is a hybrid model, and it's poised to drive growth and scalability, enabling SocialBites to expand its operations in other towns and cities. Now, SocialBites is the platform, and that's our client. Our client owns the platform. It sits between customers and restaurants, and they want to be able to grow the platform to as many restaurants as they can in different towns and cities in Germany and also outside Germany. All right. So that's the general idea, and what this is about, and it helps us to know exactly uh, how to do the visuals, because those visuals must have activities that reflect the big idea. But remember, the big idea is the power of community engagement. In other words, the big idea starts off in social media. It might start off in TikTok. Um, Posts are made by whoever is posting on TikTok on behalf of the restaurant. Engagement happens. People repost and they comment. They also engage through hearts and likes. But all that engagement needs to now be translated. So they have a page on TikTok. They could even have a page on Twitter. But they have this page, and then engagement is what we focus on that page. And we need a strategy for that. Generally speaking, whoever is doing that, that's a sales job, really. And whoever is doing that needs to have a means by which they generate content quickly. And the content should be the kind of content that will create engagement. And that's where we need to build an app which will build content using AI, for example. So AI images and AI text, for example. And they can come in, edit the text, and then post. In minutes, they should produce a meme that can build traction. That's what we're saying, right? So that's one app. It starts there. Once they build traction, they get many people from social media, they move those people to the website. So they need to have a website where people move to. Now, the people who land on the website and then subscribe, you see, you can have visitors, but it's the ones who subscribe, those are serious customers or prospecting customers, but serious ones. So at that point, you want to engage in conversations with the um, serious customer that makes sense. Because when I say serious customer, in this case, it's people who are interested in food. Anyone who's interested in food would like to see a menu. They'd like to talk about different options. So that's what the app on the website should do. It should show them different menus of different types. Like they could be, let's say, Turkish delights. They could be Indian food. They could be African food, depending. There are 500 restaurants. So we categorize all these restaurants into different food types. And then people can choose, go through them. It can even suggest based on comments that the person makes. So we have this app which does that. It helps them to make choices and select from different menus what they would like. Once they choose, then that's done. That's a done thing. That's now a customer. Once they choose and check out, they become a customer because now they're paying. So they're checked out based on their choice. We then guide them to make payment, and the information that they have chosen is sent to the restaurant. That's it. That's the beginning of a third app, the app that receives information on payment and choices that they've made from the previous app. That one is received by the restaurant, and it's on the restaurant side. So the user stories for that one are to do with the restaurant. What happens when they receive this order? Who receives it? How do they process it? And then how do they let the system know that they are working on the order? So let's say the order takes 1 or 2 hours to produce. We need to track that so that the person who placed the order can know that it's being worked on at different stages. Maybe just 3 stages, for example. Once that's done, then they would proceed to the next step where they would now say it's done, it's finished. So they're going to now click on a button that will order or call a courier, and then they'll dispatch the order to the client. The client, when they were checking in, at some point, I mean, it would be maybe at the point where they're placing the order, will be asked to put in their location details so that it can be delivered to them. Maybe give them the option: do you want to pick it up or do you want us to send it to you? If they say we want you to send it, then they need to be asked for their drop off point so that the order, when it's sent by the restaurant, goes to the drop off point. But that's going to a third party. It's not part of our story. The actual delivery is not part of our story. It's just you, like Bolt. If you're calling Bolt, then Bolt is the one that's going to come and deliver it. So our story can end when the customer confirms, and we ask them to do this, confirm the moment you receive it. When the customer confirms that they received it, then they'll click a button and it's received. But at that point, you can now introduce the fourth app, which is marketing. Marketing then tells them, would you like, it's like a survey, but you're saying, would you like to have the same order tomorrow? Or do you want to have it the same time next week? Or do you have a different interest? Something like this. maybe most people will not touch it, but some people will, and they'll say, yes, I want this tomorrow again, same time. So if they do, you see, you've gotten some feedback. And even as that feedback comes, you may have some post-marketing information or post-service information to do with, let's say, it could be uh, there are other things you might like, and you show them other menus or other dishes, you see? So that kind of thing, so that we don't just leave them that way. We want them to be a repeat customer. And they've shared with us the information, so we can always now get back to them. Okay, so that's the big idea. And once you lay that out, you've done well. But let's just look at the business model then from that perspective. Here, we're looking at I've explained the big idea. So the marketplace on-demand service. So an on-demand service simply means that the backbone of this platform is based on customers connecting with the restaurant by placing orders anytime, anywhere. That's what we mean by that. And we need to position the app. You see, when you log into the app, it should be highlighted. Don't make it such that you log into the app and it logs into a home page. A home page is passive. It should log into an active page, a page that's ready to take orders. You see, almost like Google. When you go to Google's homepage, it's ready to do search. Yeah. So even this one, you go into this page, it's ready to provide you with an on-demand service. So how do you bring that out visually? That's how the story starts. It starts with a clear statement that what do you want to eat now? You see, something like that. And then it gives you a means by which you can choose or type in food, something like that. But think about that, because your user story cannot be starting from about us. Don't do that, because people will lose interest. All right. And then here, key features. You have, I've listed them here. For the restaurant booking, the customers can browse available restaurants, view menus, and make reservations directly through the platform. Right. This viewing menus is important. It's once they come to the website, they want to view menus, but they also want to see what's available, and offers and things like those. And then here, food delivery. But offers are important, that you can also display offers quite prominently. So you want to show, how can you show discounts or special pricing and things like that. Food delivery. So SocialBites offers a user-friendly interface for ordering food from local restaurants with real-time tracking and delivery status. You want to be able to track that, but this is not really part of us. This one, that's not in our big idea. That's with the service that we're going to connect with. But in terms of ordering food from local restaurants, this is part of our big idea. Okay, so you capture that. And the user interface should be clean, intuitive design that ensures customers can navigate the platform and get a good satisfaction out of it. So Germans like the minimalistic design approach. They like that. So just do a minimalistic design. You can Google that to see how that would look, but they would appreciate that a lot. The revenue stream. So the revenue stream comes from commissions where people earn, but this is paid out by the restaurant. The restaurant actually earns money from food delivery traction, so that we are telling them we'll increase the amount of food that's being ordered. And it also makes money by bookings or reservations, but let's say bookings. People come and book to have lunch or have dinner, they make money from that. So that traction is really what will tell them that it's working. This thing is helping us, because now they have bigger crowds who are coming. Let's move into the subscriptions. So here is the main revenue. The main revenue comes when the restaurants subscribe to the app. And it's on a freemium model, this one. What that means is that we allow them to use it for free, let's say for 1 month. And then thereafter, they have to, once they understand and appreciate it, they have to pay for a subscription. Okay, can pay monthly or annually. The next one is what we're calling basic services. So things like to be listed on the platform. This is part of the subscription. If, let's say, the restaurant only wants to be listed, then they can. But if they want other things, like they want to buy or pay for the subscription that allows for the big idea, the ordering and the booking of, let's say, meals If you want that, you can pay for the, you know, no, let me not say you should pay. This is part of the big idea. So this should be part of the basic offering. So listing is part of it, but and listing comes with all your offerings. If you have special offers and things like that, that's also listed. And then this one for ordering and booking is also listed. And then comes this one, the consumer engagement features. Things like sellers can access features such as customer reviews, ratings, feedback that comes, which will help them to know what's working and what's not working. So for the basic, subscription, they'll get all this. But for the premium, they get other things. They get this enhanced visibility. So we start to focus and promote some of the things that they feel should be prioritized if there are special events or things like that. This one for advanced analytics, they'll have access to analytics that give them detailed insights into the customer's behavior, sales trends. They can crunch the numbers to know information that might drive their business. That's what this is saying. Okay, so we want to also include analytics within our app solution. Then we want to, this one, targeted marketing tools. Targeted marketing tools simply means that we're going to allow them to put advertisements within the app. But I don't know. I mean, this is here, but it's something we need to debate with the client. So if the client feels that they don't want it, we'll remove it, because advertising can be a pain point to consumers. So we'll allow each of the customers also to specify certain things, like if the menus have unique photos or their own kind of messages, they can create them, and those are used within social media. So if they know it's Christmas and they're doing special things, they can photograph what they're doing, add a message, and that can be crafted quickly using the app as a post for social media. So that's what I mean here by targeted marketing. And we'll provide them with the tools and the means to create this content very quickly. It's an app. It's part of the big idea. All this is part of the big idea. So many of these restaurants already have loyalty programs. These are programs or ways by which they give frequent users discounts. So we provide them with the means by which they can gamify the loyalty program. The gamification of it means when someone logs in, like a user logs in and they're frequent, they'll be able to see their points. And we'll tell them, you have now 100 points, that's 100 shillings discount. Or you can get a meal for 100 shillings for free because you have these points. That kind of thing makes people chase the numbers. And then this one, the biggest idea, community leveraging features. This one. So premium users can create and participate in exclusive community events, such as virtual cooking classes or tasting events that align with the customer's interests. The customer is the end user. And then, of course, further strengthening their brand of the restaurant and the brand presence within the community. So this one, you see, the Germans will have to tell me what they're thinking here. I mean, what sort of events would you have in mind? Virtual cooking classes, maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe they do, I don't know. But tasting events, maybe they do that. I don't know. But they would have ideas on how they can create a sense of community. This can be even done online. For us, it's online. So, if they want to do something offline, we can just give them a notice board, which allows them to make announcements. And then we focus the notice board. When someone logs in, they see the notice. But when it comes to these events, we can think about online events that can be held to promote themselves amongst the community of users. So that's a discussion. It's just there for now, but it's a discussion. So here the revenue stream is purely subscription fees, right? But there are other revenue fees. But this is all, the big idea is on the subscription. The affiliate marketing represents an additional revenue stream for SocialBites, and it leverages the platform's extensive user base and industry partnerships. By partnering now with complementary businesses and services, SocialBites can earn commissions on referrals. So, a classic example here is the payment gateway. You're going to be using a payment gateway to receive money through Visa cards, but you're also going to have a delivery service. So again, you can receive, benefits from that. If you give Uber, let's say 10 clients, they give you a discount of one client. So you can pass that on if you like. But these are ways in which you can help your business to do more business simply because of the ecosystem within which you exist. But this is not part of the big ideas. We don't have to visualize these ones. They're not going to be demonstrated on our app when we're doing our demo. But I'm just showing you the different streams. So this revenue stream is based on affiliate commissions. We can give commissions to anyone who gives business to the restaurant. All right. So the opportunity for scalability. So this app, this is just part of a business plan, but this app is implemented in such a way that every part of the process is automated. So the people in the restaurant who input information and the people on the website who are, promoting them on social media, that's customer care or sales, those people are using the system to, you can say, enhance the outcomes. Okay, and that's what they're doing online. So when they do that, then of course the system helps them. It does everything else for them because of automation. The automation is what makes it scalable. So of course you can do it for one restaurant. Presumably it can happen across 500 restaurants. Each restaurant will have their own customer service person and their own salesperson who will work with them. Yeah, so that's just a general statement on it. And then expansion. So regional growth, they would like to grow to occupy the province within which Dortmund, which is a town, exists. But it's the towns around Dortmund, which is a city, that we will target. Technology investment, we're encouraging the clients to invest in, what we start with is just minimum viable, but we'll encourage them to invest in that to grow the technology in a way that now gives them, you can say, market dominance. And here, marketing and community outreach. This is part of the big idea. So they should never stop implementing targeted marketing campaigns, which I would say are virtual, and community outreach programs, again, which are virtual, to build their brand so that people remember the logo and remember the name. So this is part of their overall business plan. Okay, so I'll share this document with you. I'm adding another part to it as well, which I'm sharing with the client. But this is to help you to understand the how to align the activities that you're showing them with what it is that they're actually doing. They want to make money, and they want to make money because people are coming to their website. And they also want to make money because people are coming to the restaurant physically. When you come to the website, you can place orders or you can make bookings. When you make bookings, then you come physically. So they make money either way. So we need to focus the user stories and the visuals in such a way, we need to show them in such a way that they're consistent with what I'm showing you here. Everything must be focused on making money for the restaurant. All right. I hope that's clear. I don't know if you have questions on it, Nelly. Maybe you want to ask me something?
Could you just briefly explain about the subscription, the layered subscription market plan?
Yeah. Let me go back to it. You can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I'll start right at the beginning. The way to understand this is that the client, that SocialBites, makes money when restaurants pay for a subscription. Right? That's how they make money. So we start with that. Now, the restaurants will not pay for a subscription unless they can see what what the platform is doing for them. And what the platform is doing for them is bringing them new customers. These new customers are online. They don't have online visitors. So the platform is bringing them online visitors. The online visitors are generally younger audiences, the younger people. So you can say Generation Z, because they're now working, they have disposable income, and they want to now go online and place orders. And they also do bookings. So that's how they make their money. They make their money from these subscriptions. And the people who actually pay for the subscriptions are young, you can say, Germans who are actually working. So because they're working, they have disposable income, they're willing to pay for this. So how do you get them? Well, we're saying we get them from social media, we bring them to the website, and then we show them the list of things that are available that they can order. and nice things we make. It looks very delicious, very presentable in the way we talk to them. So we entice them. Once they feel convinced that they have to order something on our website, then we make them check out, make payment, and then they now come to the restaurant. Now, this is the thing. If, let's say, just as an example, in the first month, 10 such orders are made, and then 10 bookings are made, all right? Then the client will be interested. Then we have a discussion. Our client will have a discussion with the restaurant, and they can agree that next month we target, let's say, 20. If we can get 20 bookings and 20, let's say, new orders, then that is traction, because now you have customers and the customers are growing. Okay, so that's the goal number one, is to get customers. Goal number two is to get traction, which means customers who are growing in number. And then the third month you can grow them again like that. Okay, now if the client can see traction after 1 month, maybe 2 months, something like that, now, not our client, but let's say the restaurant can see traction. Then our client can now ask the restaurant to make a subscription for them to bring them more traction, more, let's say, customers. All right? That's the big idea. The big idea is that one. Um, Although it doesn't end with that, we also facilitate the customer to make the payment and to get the service. So we're doing more than just bringing them customers. That's step one. But we're also facilitating the restaurant to serve the customer, okay, online. So that part of it is also part of the big idea. So on the subscription, you want to, for us on our platform, we want to show traction. And traction is where we show from the analytics, we show that you have, let's say, 10 customers this month. Next month, you have 20 customers. The growth in customers is the traction. The increase of users is what we're saying. And it's customers to the restaurant. So we're not talking of visitors. Visitors can be many, but it's the ones who actually translate and decide, I'm going to buy. Those ones are activated. And when you're activated, you become a customer. Okay? Now, once that's done, then the client, the restaurant, is obliged to take the subscription with the restaurant because they can see the benefit. We need to have a means by which they can pay for the subscription. All right? That means there's an admin panel, an admin side to the app. That admin page, when they go there, there'll be a place where they can top up their account. So how does that work? What we'll ask them to do is to pay per month or to pay per year. We'll encourage them to pay per year. Okay, they get even a discount and all that. So when they make the payment, there'll be a button. They click on it. It goes to the payment gateway. They make the payment, and then they come back. There are two payment gateways. One is PayPal. The other is Visa. Those are the two in Germany that they use. So we can suggest, use one of these, and you make the payment and then come. When they make the payment, they have a wallet. We need to implement it like that. So they'll see that the wallet is full. If you've paid for 12 months, it's full. After 1 month, it reduces. After another month, it reduces. So that way we gamify it. They can see the how much is left on their fuel tank. When there's 1 month left, it'll be very low. They'll also get a message, like an email, that will prompt them to say that, you have to top up in a month's time, so just be ready. Okay? That kind of thing. So again, when they top up, that's the subscription paid again. Okay? So the subscription is the restaurant's way of sending money to our client. Our client is SocialBites. And that's the point at which SocialBite now is making money, because the restaurant is paying for the subscription. And the restaurant will only pay for the subscription when they can see that they're gaining, because the customers online are there. They can see them. Okay? So that's how this thing works. I don't know if I've explained it somehow. So I had not explained about this back panel where you pay for subscriptions, but you can still ask me something.
It's clear. I've
All right.
understood.
Okay. And here we're using what we call a freemium model. So you see where it says basic services free tier. So the freemium model starts for free. Everything is for free. You can even access these premium features for free, but that's in the first month or first 45 days. Once the 45 days are over, now you cannot access premium features unless you pay for the subscription. Okay, but you can always access what is free. So what is free, I've listed here. The listing on the platform is free. To use the order and booking management tools, that's free. And then also this one, the customer engagement features, which will engage the customer by showing them special offers and things like that. That's free. So all this stuff is free. But if you want the enhanced features on analytics, on visibility, on targeted marketing tools, like you want to market more aggressively, that one you have to pay for. Okay? But they can use our big idea for free. That's what we're saying. These are discussions. I mean, our clients might turn around and say, no, I want something not to be for free. That's okay. But that's what we're proposing. We can discuss with the client. Loyalty programs and also community engagement features. And this is part of the big idea, community engagement. So this app really improves your social presence or your social media presence. So this is one of the biggest critical things about our big idea, is the ability now to um, have build a social community of customers. Partly because you're having online events, you're doing things and posting things on social media that's engaging. So you create a kind of, you can say, a group of groups, that people engage and they know your restaurant online simply because of your engagement. So this is one of the big things, and we need to think this is the central idea. The loyalty programs and things like targeted marketing tools and analytics, those are things we'll implement, but they're kind of standard. There's nothing special about implementing analytics or showing them a tool for creating a meme. Those ones will even get them online. The one that is quite needs some strategic thinking is this one for community leveraging features. But we're coming to that. If you can just design something based on your research, do some research around these things. We will work with that research for now, get the clients to agree, and then we'll get into the details of what we're saying. Okay, but do something we can discuss next week so that I can see that you've got ideas that work. Okay, all right. Yeah, feel free to ask anything else or even more on the same thing.
Okay, at the end of this program, am I supposed to only come up with high fidelity prototypes, or I'm also going to use C# for the web app?
Fish up. What do you mean by fish up?
The language, the C# language for the web app.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, at the end, so there's this whole exercise goes up to the end. We're producing an app at the end. So at the end of, let's say, 2 weeks from now, you should have used, let's say, Figma to do your prototype. So that's stage one. Then we're going to, and you don't have to use Figma. You can use C# if you want. But Figma is okay because it's not something functional. It's something that is visual. You need to have something visual in 2 weeks' time, both to demonstrate and then a layout which is architectural, which can show us now the layouts. It's not really architectural, let me say conceptual. A conceptual layout that's designer friendly. You look at it and you can see how the wireframe flows. It's a high fidelity wireframe. So that's what you need to have in 2 weeks' time. It has to be supported by the things we talked about, like scenario drawings, use case diagrams, things like user stories. It has to be supported by that because that's how we are talking to the client before we even start doing all this layout stuff so that we agree on that user story. So 2 weeks time you have that. Then thereafter, we now start to produce the functional prototype. That functional prototype will use C#. So we're going to get back into C#, and I'll take you step by step. We'll do architectural drawings first, build the front end or draw the front end, design the model for the back end, and then we'll start building the code within C# and VS Code so that we have something functional. So all the stuff that you'll have on your, let's say, visual presentation will now have in a functional presentation. The functional presentation will definitely be C#. The visual one can be Figma, it can be C#, whichever platform you want to use. Okay? Yeah. Feel free to ask anything. let me end it now and I'll stop sharing and work flat out. I'll send you the link tonight so that you have the Google Drive where you can upload all your work. But do the best you can to try to have something by next week. I really don't want us to lose the client, but I also want us to be timely. It also affects the negotiation. Sometimes, if a client sees you to be disorganized, they take advantage. They'll see you as someone who they can squeeze. But I don't want them to squeeze us. I want us to have the initiative. So, yeah, do what you can to be, on next week to be at least where you're supposed to be. In terms of your work, you see, when you don't have this now, I don't know. Next week we'll look at your logbook, the log journal, so that we can agree on what you've done and what needs to be done based on that. You see, it has to be done. You're writing in things in the weeks that I had proposed, according to what you've done. You see, when you don't have something, then it's like you've not done anything. So try to have so that you can fill in those weeks, and then you can give it to me. After 4 weeks, I'll sign off my part, and then another 4 weeks, I'll sign off again there. 3, 4 weeks. So in the 12th week, again, I'll sign. So week 4, week 8, and week 12, I'll sign off. Okay, but I'll sign off for the whole month. All the 4 weeks, I'll write in what I have to write in. All right.
Yeah.
Okay then, Nelly. So thanks for coming. Let me say bye. I'll stop the recording, but I'll see you next week. But I'll see you online.